I'm Amy Rodman. Welcome to my garden. I'm really excited to share it with you. We're in the second summer of enjoying our outdoor space after a major renovation. In working on this project, we had four things that we hoped to achieve. The first one was we wanted to be able to eat lots of fruits and vegetables that we have grown here. So that meant a raised bed garden area, which I'll be able to show you later on, and also to be able to do that for as much of the year as possible. So we had some cold frames, and I'll show you those as well. That was the first one, more fruits and vegetables. The second thing we wanted was to be kind to the environment, and that meant being organic as much as possible. It meant using permeable surfaces when we can, protecting our trees, and using reclaimed materials. Finally, we wanted it to be usable. We didn't just want to look at the space. We love to entertain, and we wanted to have enough open space that we could have small groups and large groups here. And so we've done that. We've had nonprofit groups that come in here, and we've hosted a number of affinity group meetings, and we've just loved doing that. And that building community part has turned out to just be such an unexpected and loving joy in terms of the friendships that we've made and the relationships that we built. So this is the raised bed garden, and this takes the back half of a section of our yard. Over here I have about 192 square feet of raised beds and grow a variety of fruits and vegetables. Over here to my left I've got corn, which is growing with beans. Beans are growing up the stalks, and then I've got squash, and this is known as the Three Sisters. And it's an experiment, but it's looking pretty good. I think I'm going to have to get on a ladder to harvest this corn, but it's going beautifully. Over here I've got some white onions, and they're growing among alyssum, which is a flower that I grew from seed. A tip that I have to share with you is I always keep a pair of garden scissors sitting around. I actually have several pairs throughout this garden, and it's just very easy as I go around. If I don't make this easy, I won't come out here as much as possible. Mainly two items. I've got green onions, and I've got cherry tomatoes. The green onions originated in the grocery store. I had some leftover onions. I just put the white portion of it with the root. You stick it in the dirt, and it comes back 3 or 4 times over the summer. And then these three tomato plants started off as leftover cherry tomatoes that I bought from the grocery store. I planted them, and they've come around. Now, if you look closely, you're going to see here these black contraptions here. And these are bird spikes, which I just got online. And normally you put these around the edge of buildings. I move them around whenever I see a little critter in the ground. So we have bunnies in this yard. We have, chipmunks. We have squirrels, of course. But we try to do sort of a level of peaceful coexistence. So when I see somebody coming in, after that, I often will rim it temporarily with these bird spikes, and they seem to go away. So one round came here one day, somebody had been enjoying my tomatoes, put the bird spikes in, haven't had a problem with it since then. So in this section of the garden, I have a mixture of perennial and annual fruits and vegetables. This is a kind of allium called the red Mohican. Even though it's not red right now, it was a couple weeks ago, but I'm letting it stay and dry up. And interspersed between it are radishes. These are called watermelon radishes. They actually get quite big. Over here I've got some petunias, which have been in a basket in the front, and when that was sort of done with, I just pulled them over here. So a lot of this sort of rearranging the furniture of the fruits and the vegetables is both creative for me. I find it to be a creative outlet, but it also allows you to extend their use throughout the growing season. These are strawberries. They are doing pretty well. We had a large crop, and I think we've got a second crop coming in maybe in a couple of weeks. And throughout here I have interspersed a lot of herbs. I've got oregano, I've got basil, I've got parsley, and it's this idea of companion planting. Seem to get along quite well. I will say that the bees love this, and around 5 o'clock it's almost vibrating here with the bees and the butterflies come in, as well as over here. I've seen hummingbirds here. It's really kind of a wonderful thing to be able to experience. On one of the edges of the raised beds, we've put a series of 6 cold frames. Cold frames are like mini greenhouses, and they allow us to extend the growing season. So you can actually put seeds in here earlier than you normally would before the first frost date, and then we can extend it out at least another month at the other end of it also because of the heat. And so the cold frames, the lids come up and down. We use different sticks to adjust the height on them, and their purpose is always changing. So in these two cold frames right now, I'm actually using them as compost bins. They have grass clippings, they have kitchen scraps in there, and then as I'm cutting flowers and deadheading them and so forth, they all go in there. Now, as fall approaches and the leaves start coming down, I'll also put leaves in here, and as they dry up, a couple of times in the fall, I'll get out my weed whacker, chop them up, and that will help them decompose sooner. Over here, I'm just using it sort of as a mix. I just had a mix of things, mint and flowers and chives, and so I just threw them in there. And then over in some of my other cold frames, I have put bed sheets to sort of as a tent on them, and those shade whatever's growing in there a little bit more gently. Over here, this is a sink, and it's a reclaimed sink. The sink was actually in the basement of the house that used to be on this property. And by reusing it, we love the look of it. We like being able to reclaim and reuse, but also it's just incredibly efficient. This is my soap. And when I don't like wearing gardening clothes very much, so what I do is when I'm coming out here and I know I'm going to get really dirty, I actually just put my fingernails in that soap, and it kind of looks like you have a French manicure, but it makes it so much easier as you're going through. The dirt doesn't get in there, and then you wash your hands off. It's 100 times easier to do it. I highly recommend that. These are apple trees. I have one over here, I have one on the other side. When you grow apple trees, you actually need to do more than one so that the pollination will be shared. So these are apple trees, and this is called Espaliered, and they're trained to grow against the fence. So we're out in the alley right now, and this summer what I've done is from seed I've grown some flowers like cosmos, and this is zucchini, and here is another pair of scissors, and more wildflowers. And so we had the zucchini last night. It was delicious. And over on our other planter over there, we've got cucumber growing. I will say that I really love having this, and I love that the kids who play in our very active alley can come and they pick the fruits and vegetables. The one thing that I thought I would not mind is hauling out water to periodically water so they wouldn't get thirsty, and I have discovered that I actually do mind that. And so when this is all over, I'm going to replace it all with native plants.